So, we just watched Monkey.
This movie is insane. This is a adaptation of Stephen King.
It's based off of a 1980 short story.
You know that Stephen King's gonna hit you with a bunch of things you didn't expect. You didn't mess with your mind a little bit. All that good stuff. This movie had a level. Okay, when you told me that one of the producers was someone from Soul, that made a lot of sense. The way that these people were dying. So, brief overview. There's we're not gonna call it a toy because it gets offended, but there's basically a monkey is a figurine, and he has like a little turn thing in the back.
The wind-up toy.
And when you wind that up, good things don't happen. The interesting thing is that the person who winds it up is safe, is like, clear from being hurt, but the people around them are not. And the people die in such a spectacular fashion that it made me think of Saw. Like, it made me think of or even like Final Destination, I guess, as well. Like how spectacular these deaths are. And when somebody winds up the back of this freaking monkey, he starts drumming on his little drum thing, and that's it. Anybody is up for grabs at this point. And so in the beginning, it starts with like this guy, he runs into the store and he's like, I'm gonna need you to take this off my hands, because he's trying to we learn later on, he's trying to get rid of this freaking monkey. And the store owner is hesitant because he has blood all over him. Long story short,
I think he was saying that it was broken and that the drumsticks weren't fitting in the tin or something like that. And I think it started playing on its own because obviously the father of the main character wouldn't have turned it. It just started like kind of playing itself. Then of course a little chain reaction happens. You see a rat nibbling on a rope. The rope releases something. It hits a harpoon gun. The gun shoots through the pawn shop owner, and then the monkey drums one more time, and it gets reeled back in and just pulls his intestine out of his stomach. And we were like, holy shit.
Diabolical. And that's just the way it starts. And then we see him, he basically takes a flamethrower to the damn thing. Then it just cuts over to his kids. So he has twins, Hal and Bill, and they're being raised by their mom. They never really say what happened to the dad, but they're going through the dad's stuff, and then they find this box. So when he's taking a flamethrower to this monkey, you see like the exterior kind of melting and stuff like that. Stephen King, that's not gonna be the end of the monkey, but you would think that should be enough. No, of course not. That monkey is fully intact and in a hat box.
On the box it says organ grinder monkey, and in like parentheses or is like life. That's what it says, which comes into play later.
Look, if I see a box, I don't care if it's a hat box or what, and I see those words on that box, I'm not opening the box. They're kids, so they see the damn thing. Bill is the asshole out of the two kids, and Hal, it seems to be the more timid one. And so Bill is pretty much like bossing him around and shit. He's like, look, well, I get to make the decision, because it says like turn me or something like that for the little wind-up thing. So he decides to turn the damn wind-up thing to see what it's gonna do.
What happens is the babysitter comes over, takes him out to hibachi, and then while they're eating, Chef is like kind of flirting with her. She seems to be enamored with him. Bill was not impressed because he had a crush on her. And then like the monkey all of a sudden starts playing, and all of a sudden me and Nova was betting like, what's gonna happen? Either something's gonna explode or somebody getting cut. Now I thought the chef was gonna get cut. All of a sudden he and we're like, whoa, what just happened? And the babysitter, you just see a cut opening on her under her throat, and she just turns and the head rolls off onto the ground. Everybody's like, ah. By the way, this is a black comedy. It's really funny actually. It's not like too super serious. Like even though some of these deaths are like horrific, they're like done in the most comedic ways possible. It's not serious like Final Destination or Saw. It's like if Final Destination was a comedy.
I don't think they put two and two together yet.
Yeah, because it happened while it was like in the car.
I think they suspected it, but wasn't sure.
Hal did. So what happens is later in the next day, Bill kind of like bullies him into like, cause he's like checking the monkey out, looking at it. And Bill, like at night, remember he got up to look at it, and then Bill popped up and he's like, "You say you like want to suck the monkey's banana," and he's like, "I'm not saying that." And Bill threatens to like beat up Hal, and then he's like, "Say it," and he does. So then the next day they bully him and like mush a bunch of bananas all in his face and stuff. And the mom is downstairs like cooking, like making pastries, I think. So he goes upstairs. Hal goes upstairs and turns the monkey and asks it, "Yo, kill my brother. I'm tired of him. Kill my brother." So he winds it. Monkey plays his thing, and then that's when Bill comes in. And the mom just has this like horrific brain.
What is that? 1 in 44 million or something like that. Just one of the ones that, most people don't get. And Bill has a hard time accepting that. Like at her funeral, he's still kind of like trying to talk to her and stuff like that. To the funeral, their aunt and her husband, they're the ones that's gonna take the kids in. So they spend the night or whatever, and then the next day they go to where they're gonna be living with the aunt and the uncle. After the mom passed away, Hal took a meat cleaver and basically chopped up the monkey, which had blood in it, put the monkey outside so that the garbage collection could take it or whatever. He put two and two together. You know, he lost his mom as a result of it. He's like, I'm gonna get rid of this stupid thing one way or another. He puts it out so that the sanitation could get it. Everything should be good, right? All things should be fine. Like, nobody should be harmed. Now they could grieve in peace. No, of course not. That fucking monkey is unstoppable.
They go upstairs in their room. This motherfucker just appears out of nowhere, scares the shit out of you. Like, it scared me. And then Bill realizes that this thing can actually bring death to people. So he winds the key, despite Hal saying no. And then you find out that the uncle got stampeded to death by horses. And he looked like mush. Like, they showed what was inside the sleeping bag or whatever he was in. It was just like congealed like food. Like, it was just a mush. And you're like, holy, like, the deaths in this, though comical, are fucking graphic as hell. It's insane. The twins are like horrified. They put the monkey in a box, they chain it up, and they throw it down a well. Then it skips 25 years later.
Skips over to 25 years, and then she gruesomely taken out.
So she hears a noise, and we find out later what that noise is. She hears a noise, and she has the biggest revolver pistol I've ever seen in my life. And she's walking around, and then she hears a noise down in the basement. And then when she's coming back up, she like one of the steps break. I thought she was done for. I thought she was gonna be impaled. What happens? She got a bunch of fish hooks caught in her face. If that ain't bad enough, she goes in the bathroom, pulls them all out, cleans with alcohol. Then she smells gas. So then she goes to the stove and smells which one of the eyes is leaking gas. Then it just turns on and burns her whole head. Her whole head is on fire. She's screaming.
Candle.
Yeah, she's screaming, which wouldn't work because fire burns up oxygen. So if you're screaming, it would go down your throat, actually. And then she runs into the like for sale sign outside and impales her head. And it was like, what? It's ridiculous, yes. So then they skip to Hal, and Hal's working like some like podunk grocery store with some kid that's younger than him as his manager. And he tells him like, look, I gotta go see my kid. And his ex-wife is obviously married to a new man, tells him, look, I took your power. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm adopting your son. And so you don't come around, you don't see him anyways, so there's no point for it to be your son no more.
Only sees him once a year.
He's like, I'm taking it. So he's like, so spend your last couple of days with him, or then you won't have to see him no more. So that's when he gets a call about his aunt. He decides to spend a couple of days with him because his son is trying to do a family tree. He lies on about it having any siblings. He's not really being forthcoming with the family tree outside of like the mom to sleep. And that's when you see the high on the thing. It says high on the AC. And so he goes and he turns the heat off and the AC up. So then they're showing on top of the building like it's shaking and stuff. He's like, oh Lord, here we go. And he gets a call from his brother, and his brother's like, hey, let him know, hey, like Aunt Ida died. I need you to go over there and check on her. And he's like, why I gotta do it? And then all of a sudden the freaking radiator on top falls off, lands in like the pool or something like that, electrifies everything. He almost gets like electrocuted. And he's like, woo. And you're like, damn, that was a close call. And then you see a lady jump in the pool and she exploded. Okay, which wouldn't have happened in real life, but she just like touched the water and boom, and I was like, what? And her legs go flying and her head just like drops in the water. We're like, God damn, you know, like. So then fast forward, Petey and Hal, they go to Aunt Ida's house. Hal tries to keep Petey in the car, but Petey's like, look, I can only poop in houses. So he goes with him, and then you see the weird realtor lady starts handing out cards, just keeps yelling out how he has a brother.
He just told his kid he don't have no brothers. He didn't want to tell him about his grandmother, nothing. And here she goes, I spoke to your brother. And the kid's like, kid has an attitude with his pops this entire time. He's about to be adopted, and his father hasn't really been in. He doesn't really understand why his dad. They even have a back and forth about like, you know, whether or not he's a mistake. So he has these like feelings about it. The lady ends up realizing that, all right, you know, maybe it's not the time for all of this. And she starts showing him around and going to the house.
But she was like, yeah, your brother Bill, your twin brother, and your identical twin brother. She just kept beating him over there, and he just like, bitch, will you shut up? You know, that was so funny.
I guess you can explain how she dies. The monkey was picked up by somebody else, right? Yeah. But all these people weirdly like dying. And it's like, if the monkey wasn't with nobody, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, what's going on? But okay.
Yeah, you're right. So, we don't know where the monkey is. Like, we assume that this kid that came to the estate sale, he's might be the one turning it, right? But we don't know who this kid is. All we know, he has like a terrible haircut and a jean jacket. Back to the realtor. So, they're walking around the house. She's showing them stuff in the house and talking about the estate sale and all this other stuff. And then she's like letting us know that like people are just disappearing and dying all around town. And they go through this like little montage of like people getting taken out. Like one dude got like taken out by like steam from like a kettle or something. Another person got bit by a cobra, and he's like, there's no cobras in Maine. She's like, apparently there was, you know, right? And while she's talking about this, she's trying to open this door with keys. And so she's like low-key hitting on Hal, talking about how he's pretty and he's a good-looking man and stuff. And she's trying all these different keys. And Hal starts thinking while she's talking about how people are disappearing. He's like, you know what, hey, maybe you don't need to open that door. You know, and she's like, no, I insist. And she opens the door and a damn shotgun falls out and just blows her to pieces. I'm like, God damn, what was that, an elephant gun? Like she was just a fine mist after. It was just like, and you're like, oh shit. And then the cops come and tell him not to leave town and all this other stuff. I'm still in shock because this dude is covered in blood. His son had like, seems like not even the kid, some human upstairs got splattered to the four winds of the earth. This lady just got murked in front of your pops. You think you might have a little sympathy? I know I wouldn't be giving my dad no shit. Even if we was estranged after that, I'd be like, nah, we can't be doing this. He gets another call because his brother's asking, how are you? How are Petey? Because at this moment, we don't know why he's being suspicious, which will be revealed very soon.
Basically, the brother calls him and is like, look, I've been trying to get you up out of here.
Yeah, so that explains all the random deaths that have been happening around town. So it wasn't the kid who bought it. It was Bill. He employed the kid to go there, buy it, and bring it to him. But then that kid seems to be obsessed with the monkey as well. Not because he's been using it, because for some reason it reminds him of his father. But go ahead.
Bill is like, look, I've been trying to do this and I'm gonna keep trying to do it because I want you to get up out of here. But if you want to protect your son, because he's like, stop doing it, let me take Petey home and then we can talk about this. He's like, no, if you want to protect your son, have him turn it because the person who turns it doesn't get hurt. So Hal is like, you know, basically not wanting to do this, but the boy, Ricky, he's trying to get the damn monkey back. He hatches his plan to dress up like a cop. Terrible, not convincing at all, but convincing enough because he has a little revolver. And he basically knocks on the door to the motel, breaks in, and he's like, look, we're gonna go get the monkey. There's a door in the back of the place, and it's like a doggy door or whatever. And he's like, the kid could fit through there. So he has a gun to Hal's head. Kid is like starting to realize what's going on because the father, he had kind of asked the father, like, you know, why are you so distant? He asked him this early on. And he's like, look, there's evil things that come along with me. So now he's starting to see what his pop is talking about. But he's like, wait, you've been distant all this time because of a fucking toy? And his father's like, you don't understand. Mind you, while he's walking to get to Bill, there's like booby traps thing where he almost gets his head taken off by one of them. Bill walks through and he ends up meeting with Bill.
He basically persuades his nephew to turn it. Petey turns it, and the wildest shit happens. So outside, Hal and Ricky are in the car. Ricky's like dumb as shit and annoying. He's like scratching his head with the gun and almost shoots himself. And he ends up shooting a hole through the window. Meanwhile, there's this giant hornet's nest, like the biggest hornet's nest on the most flimsy limb on a tree that you ever seen in your life. As Petey inside with Bill turning his key, you see like the tree branch almost kind of like lower, like it's breaking. And it's almost like it's aiming the fucking nest right at the car whose a new hole opened in it. And all of a sudden, when he finished turning it, you just see like a little wasp come out and they all shoot at the car and they go right through the hole. And I was like, oh, yo, both of them is dead. No, them things go directly down Ricky's throat and they eat their way out. Yeah, they eat their way out. So, you know, Hal, doing as smart as any other person, he slowly leaves because you don't run away from him. You don't do no sudden movements. You know those things is around you. So he gets out, he's going in, and Bill tries to get Petey to turn it again, and Petey's like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Yo, he bitch slapped the shit out of that boy. So then he goes flying, Bill's fighting with the monkey, Petey goes, sees his dad, helps him through the hole. But one thing that I forgot to tell y'all is that this monkey is like, they kind of like clued in, like this monkey seems to be sentient. Like it knows what it's doing. That's why people continuously tell, don't call it a toy. Bill, the evil twin, is trying to get the monkey to hit the guitar, the drum. He's like, you gonna do it? Why won't you fucking do it? And it's trying to force it, and it like kind of flings it off of him, and he goes flying, which is hilarious, and hurts his knee. And all of a sudden, the monkey and this thing gets to being a little drummer boy. They're just hitting the drum. I love how it did the thing where it would like darken the eyes, but had that little bit of like white shine in the eyes, right? And then all of a sudden, it's just silent. And then all of a sudden, you're like, what is that? A plane just comes out of the sky, just crashes in town. You see outside like the electricity poles are on fire. Okay.
It's like if you landed in an open lobby in GTA.
And the crazy thing is the monkey like hits the drum one more time, and you just see people falling through the roof and the floor. It was funny enough, we didn't talk about this. Petey, the son of Hal, was talking about going skydiving. Well, guess who the fuck comes flying through this roof and floor? Skydivers in the middle of the night, which is weird, but whatever, right? Like maybe they got pulled in from another timeline or something. I don't know.
It was a wedding thing.
Yeah. So they just die. Like everybody, you gotta two people that just go splat, and then like the bride is just comes through and just dead and just like hanging from the parachute. This is the part where they go in there, Bill and Hal have a talk. Bill's like, he's like, "You've been trying to kill me." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Cause you killed my mother." Hal, the good twin, was like, "I get it, man. I feel your pain. She was my mom too." And he was like, "Oh yeah."
The light bulb came.
Yeah, popped in his head. They reconcile, right? Like these brothers who've never gotten along ever reconcile finally. They shake hands and you think everything's good. And the monkey hits that drum one more time and Bill gets his head squished by a bowling ball, which they showed in the beginning when they were kids that he dreamed about squishing his head with a bowling ball. So I guess he got his wish. They go outside and you see the aftermath of this monkey just hitting that drum. So every time he hit a drum, he hit the drum, somebody died, basically. You see a guy impaled with a surfboard through a tree. You see a woman with a stroller on fire just screaming while she's on fire too. And they literally, while driving, see Death on a pale horse walking by looking at him. Gives him a nod. He gives Death a nod like, "Hey, death happens. It's gonna happen." That was to acknowledge he's so scared about death, him dying and everybody else around him, he was keeping it from his son. So him sitting there acknowledging like, "Hey, out of all the deaths, you didn't die." Like, and you never know. After this, you might die. You don't know. And I see that as almost like an allegory to like life. You don't know when it's your time. Just enjoy it while you can, because sitting there around being scared that you're gonna die ain't gonna do you no good. And so the two decide that they're gonna keep the monkey out of the wrong hands, keep it. Literally, the funny thing, it was like end credits and there was no credits. I was like, okay.
Oh wait, right before it ended though, the last ridiculous death is where it looks like cheerleaders hanging out the window cheering. One of them big trucks, commercial trucks, zooms past,
It decapitates
all of them.
Which was funny because remember after the realtor died, they had like this weird cheer group. I'm like, what the fuck are those cheerleaders doing outside? Remember? Yeah, man, that was a weird ass movie. It was really funny, but it also like really gruesome and like it like takes you by surprise. I think even with us like describing what happens in the movie, it'll still take you back because it comes out of nowhere sometimes. Like, and then another honorable mention was the like dude bro priest. He was fucking hilarious. I liked it. It was a good movie. Humor was great. It was not what I was expecting. I was expecting like a straight actual horror movie, but it was more like a black comedy. It got me a few times. It actually jump scared me a couple times, and like the kills were crazy. Name your top 3 like deaths in this.
The aunt, the cheerleaders at the end of the pool, because I did not.
The realtor got me for sure. I was not expecting that. The realtor was crazy. Bill dying too. I wasn't expecting that. Like he just got like decapitated like that. I would say the pool too. Pool was crazy. I wasn't expecting the pool, but I'm gonna give a couple honorable mentions. The mom, I was not expecting her to die that way. That was really fucked up. And then that lady running around with the stroller was pretty funny. Baby on fire makes me laugh, but
that was wild.
And the snake death was pretty gruesome too. Oh, remember the vape?
Yeah, the vape.
Oh my God, yo. I don't think we named all the deaths of this, but holy shit, it was crazy. It was a good movie. Definitely think you guys should give it a watch, especially if spoiler reviews don't bother you. But this movie's been out since February. She recommend this, good, funny, enjoyed it. You want to give it a number review or just?
I would say 9.5. Did not expect what it was going to be. I did appreciate the ridiculous deaths in it as well.
Before I say my score, I'm going to give the things I liked about it the most. The humor was good. I liked the narration. The deaths were gruesome and funny. But story left a little to be desired, especially for like a Stephen King story. Granted, I know this was adapted from a short story, so there's only going to be so much can explain. But a lot of Stephen King stuff comes with a little bit more like lore. A lot of the times, we didn't even see where this thing came from. The story was like kind of bare bones, and I'm not mad at it. It actually kind of makes me want to like kind of search out the actual story and see how close it is, because it might be exactly like what we got. Because I'm just used to a little bit more story with Stephen King stuff, a little bit more dread. Like I was expecting the monkey to be more serious than it was. I wasn't expecting it to be funny. Give it a 7.8. There you go. It's close to 8, but not close enough, basically. I definitely will watch it again. Like if someone was like, "You want to watch this?" Or if somebody was like, didn't know about the movie and wanted to watch it with me, I'd be like looking at their face the whole time while watching it, you know? But anyways, love you guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.
Later.
Later.